Oh my God. Ooh, spicy. Hi guys. Oh, okay. Oh my God, introducing videos is so hard. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and this is Shipwrecked Library. If you're new here, this is my booktube channel where I talk about books and book adjacent stuff, I guess. Whatever. Today's video I'm really excited about just because I've had not requests for it, I guess, but my friend in real life requested that I did it, and then I brought it up in my friend's Discord and other people showed interest, so why not? Oh my God, I just realized I don't have all my supplies with me. Okay, I'm back with my supplies. So this video is going to be all about how I annotate my books, and I think it's an interesting topic just because before using BookTube or like viewing it, engaging in it, etc., I never really annotated books, not even for college, for the brief semester I was in there for. I don't have anything against, or I didn't have anything against like writing in books or like dog-earing. I'm not someone who keeps their books in pristine condition. So I know it's kind of like controversial to like write in your books or highlight in them, etc., but personally it's your property, do whatever the hell you want with it. I do think that my way of annotating is maybe just a little bit unique because I've only ever seen one other booktuber do it the way that I do. I'm not like other booktubers, mom. So I have a good stack of books here that I'm going to use as reference for the way that I annotate, and I will go and like do flip throughs and stuff of them because personally when I watch annotating videos, I just really want to look inside the books because I'm so nosy. So I will definitely give you a good glimpse into the actual annotating that I do instead of just rambling about it. First things first, let's discuss supplies. So when I annotate, I use the cheapest things that I can possibly own, which is a highlighter from Bic, a pen that I stole from my general manager at work. This is the Energel Liquid Gel Ink Pentel pen. I just like it because it has a very fine nib to it, so you can really write very small because the margins of books sometimes can be a little bit hard to get into. Occasionally, if I'm feeling fancy, I will use a zebra mild liner, but that's not often. I really do like the chiseled tip on the mild liner a lot more than the chiseled tip on the Bic bright liner, but it really comes down to cost. These are so inexpensive. These are the tabs that I use. These are the tabs that I've always used. This is a brand new pack that I got because I ran out of my old ones and I don't feel like opening it right now, but basically it has all of the different colors. I kind of enjoy the pointed tips of these for some reason too. I think of all things that BookTube might convince you to end up doing, annotating your books is probably the cheapest thing. It doesn't require a lot. You can literally just annotate with a pencil if you want to, or just a highlighter that you found randomly. You don't need like special fancy supplies to do this. So why annotate in the first place? I like to annotate my books for pleasure. I don't really annotate a lot for review, and that's mostly just because I've said it before on my channel, I'll say it again, I'm a serial rereader. I love rereading my books. I don't really want to own books unless I have a special interest in rereading them or they're sentimental to me somehow. When I'm rereading a book, I just really like to have all my annotating supplies at hand. That way I can just highlight things that I like, underline, etc. And it gets me like really engaged in the story again. And I find out so many new and different things about the book that I didn't know the first time that I was reading it. I know a lot of people also annotate for review and also like educational purposes for like nonfiction books, for example. It's just not really my vibe, and I'll talk a little bit about why. The first book I'm gonna talk about actually is The Eye of the World, which I didn't annotate, and why I decided not to annotate this. I have a full review on this book that I'll link down below. And as you can see, I just put little sticky notes in my books instead of actually going through the full process of say like doing the tabs, highlighting and pen marking, etc. Because as much as I just said that I love to destroy the books that I own, this is a really nice copy of this book. It's a very pretty paperback, and I don't want to fuck this book up. I forget what I was saying. When I reread this series, which I eventually will, I will go in and I will annotate the like crappy mass market paperback editions instead because I don't want to quote unquote ruin these. Like these, when they're all lined up, spine out and everything, they look so pretty. So I just don't want to touch these. So while I did review this book and I read it in mind knowing I was going to review, I didn't annotate it just because I didn't want to mark up this copy. Another book that I did annotate specifically for review was Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. The first video that I ever did on BookTube was my review of Midnight Sun, and I knew pretty much the second that I opened this book that I was going to review it, so I actually did a specific annotating style for this. And by that I mean I had a key at the very beginning, and every color represented something different. So for example, green represented anytime Edward was being a drama queen or he was being pretentious. Orange was for funny moments. Purple was for good Cullen moments, aka moments that I enjoyed with the Cullens. Pink was for stupid moments or Stephanie Meyer sucking, aka she was being sexist or she was being racist or she was being just a general piece of shit. Blue was a moment that I actually enjoyed. And flipping through this, most of it is green. All of these tabs at the very top as well, the sticky notes, are put in there because when I went to make my review video, I referenced all of these tabs, and then as I was referencing those tabs, I put a sticky note in because those were quotes that I wanted to directly pull. So annotating is a great idea when you want to review a book specifically, like an in-depth review, especially a review that's going to be very critical, because you need to reference those pages. You can, of course, just open a notepad and write down pages or use your phone to take those notes, but I just find it's really engaging when you are annotating a book that you want to review. That being said, my actual favorite way of annotating a book is annotating it with no purpose in mind. I mean head empty, no thoughts. And for that, I'm going to reference my copy of Gideon the Ninth. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It's a 5 out of 5 star. If I met Tamsin Muir, I'd probably break down crying. And this was the book specifically that made me realize that I kind of just like annotating for fun, and I only ever really want to annotate for fun going forward. I think on BookTube, everyone has these very specific and cool ways of annotating. All of their red tabs always mean something, all of their pink tabs always mean something, etc. When I annotated this, all of these colors, they mean nothing. Absolute chaos. They mean not a single thing. It means that when I was reading this book again, I saw a moment that I liked and I just put a tab in there, just popped it on there. So if I'm flipping through this book, can I specifically find a moment? No, but I can always just go to any tab, read what I highlighted, and be like, oh right, that's a moment that I love. When I was rereading this again and annotating and tabbing it, it made me love the story so much more, and I also had so much fun doing it, and it also didn't feel like a chore. The next book that I'm going to reference is why sometimes annotating is like simply just not fun, and I actually don't recommend it sometimes. But for this book, it was just an enjoyable and fun process that I recommend. If you have a book that you like, screw the color coding. Just get a pen, get a highlighter, get some colorful tabs, and just go to town and enjoy yourself. The next book that I'm gonna reference is a lot less fun than all the books that I just talked about, because it made me specifically realize that the way most people annotate books is not the way that I want to annotate books, and it's not fun for me. But it's The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, which is a book that I have not completed. As you can see, these tabs stop at a certain point, and I still have my bookmark in here. This was the first book that I ever tried to annotate like a review the first time I was reading it, and I didn't like that at all. About halfway through, I wasn't enjoying my read anymore, and it had nothing to do with the book itself. It was just that I was so analytical while I was reading it that it just destroyed all the fun that I was having with the book. So I do think that tabbing specific moments and reading a book with a tabbing system in mind can be great for doing a review, but I also think it can really hinder it. This did feel like homework at some point, and now all I have is negative connotation feelings to this, and I don't know when I'm gonna pick it up again. For this specific book, I used a system where it was, okay, so I used pink for plot info, green for funny or sarcastic funny, because this book is not funny if you've read it, but there's some sarcastic moments. Blue for poignant or sad, yellow for just general stuff that I liked, light purple for character moment, orange for writing that I really enjoyed, and dark purple for like a holy shit moment. If you've read The Bone Season, there's lots of holy shit moments in it. It's a real shame because actually when I was reading this, I got about 40 pages in and I was like, I'm enjoying this so much, like what if I annotated it while I went? And then I ended up hating that process. So I guess we can wrap this up with like, should you annotate? And I guess the motivations behind annotating. I see a lot of people saying like they want to annotate for the first time, or you know, like BookTube really got them into the idea. I think that's really cool. Just don't put so much pressure on it. If you're not doing this for school, like what reason are you doing it for besides like something that you enjoy? Like I said, when I annotated Gideon the Ninth, just slapping those tabs in there and writing all over it and highlighting was the most enjoyable part. When I was doing Midnight Sun, I had a specific purpose in mind, but also that's a story I've read a million times, so I didn't feel bogged down by having to look at it critically. And then when I was reading The Bone Season, that just became a chore, and I hated it. I would say give annotating a try on a book that you plan on rereading. If you're not a rereader, weird, but whatever. You can still try it out. Just know that it's going to make you read a lot slower and that you might feel like you're really just doing a homework assignment. So I'm gonna end this video off with some more flip throughs of the books if I haven't interspersed them out in the video itself enough, just because, like I said, that's my favorite part of watching other booktubers annotating videos, is just seeing all the stuff they do. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. My camera light is flashing. Oh my God, it's gonna die. What am I gonna do? I don't even know how to change my own batteries.